A man's best friend. And no, I am not talking about the spear. This is an absolutely awesome ability which you can miss really early on. Let's have a look. Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. I'm the Monk and today we are in Assassin's Creed Valhalla and I'm going to tell you how to get a pretty awesome ability called a man's best friend. Now this ability is actually available pretty early on in the storyline. However, you can miss this really easily. Basically, there is a little boy. He is in your main area in your settlement. Now he's in your long hall or your grand hall, um, and he will appear with some speech bubbles or a speech bubble above his head. This usually indicates that, they have something to say. It could just be rubbish, it could be complete nonsense, or if you're extremely lucky, it can lead to an extra little quest. Now, some of these quests are better than others. Now, this little quest, I wasn't expecting to be this hidden gem. Basically, you get that wolf that I just saw then as a little ability. You can call on him as and when. You can actually upgrade this ability as well. It's really, really handy. Especially, it depends what kind of level you're seeking him on, but if nothing else, it's just fun just to have that ability. If you ask me, I like it. I want to be running with it. But as you see, Canute is right there. He is the guy or the little boy that, prompts this little mission. You've got to follow him to this house. Now, right at the beginning of this video, you saw me slaughtering a wild boar. That boar had the key to the house. Inside the house, you go down into the basement, and of course, you can let the wolf free. You then proceed to go home back to your settlement and you will be set upon by a pack of wolves. Well, your wolf shows up and tries to help you. After that, he's your bestest friend. I'm going to show you that little bit. I've cut out the very, very beginning of where you actually get Canute. Like I said, you will notice that little boy in your main settlement. He will have speech bubbles above your head. He's kind of like in the area where you make your alliance deals. He's pretty hard to miss, really. Now, me personally, I've walked past him at least a dozen times because more often than not, these speech bubbles is just, it's just a little tiny thing. I got lucky this time that I actually decided to go talk to him and then found out, boom, boom, you get a pretty awesome ability. Like I said, I think it's a great one. I think it's one definitely worth having. And as you can see, after you finish off those pack of wolves, you're all done. He's kind of your friend. You kind of tell the kids to go home, take your best friend with you. And that's pretty much it. Now, he is a beaut. You get to name him, of course, too. There's a little debate over what you want to name him, and of course it is up to you. There's three little options. Dugawolf is what I called him, or something like that. I don't know, it was a silly one. Maybe I should have called him something else, but that's what I went with. You get a few little, there's a couple of little things you can pick up in that house with this little mission, but really the outcome is that you're getting this ability. Now, like I said, I like to track down the abilities and get as many of them as I can. I've recently restarted my whole game, as you guys know, so I'm slowly going through this game now, doing it nitty gritty, going through every little area of this game. And this is one that I could have missed for a very, very long time. So I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I actually spoke to him and got him. He's a really good guy. I'm going to show you him in action at the end of this video as well. But so after you get back to the settlement, there is a small speech scene. And then that is it. You have unlocked him. You have got your man's best friend. Like I said, it's a really interesting perk. It's one that's upgradable as well. So I am assuming that you can actually use this really, really late into the game. And it's one that's actually going to be useful for a long time. It's interesting because I've recently fought one of the bosses that actually had you know, a pet wolf himself. So I'm glad that I finally got one now too. What I'm also excited about is the fact that it's on my ranged abilities, because of course you can look at your target and set your wolf on them. Now for me that's really good because I like my melee abilities the way they are, and I really don't use my ranged abilities that much. Now don't get me wrong, I love my bow, but I just don't use the ability side of it. But this is definitely one that I like having where it is. I'm glad that it's over there and not on my melee slots. It doesn't get in the way, and it just adds to my combat. You know, it's a bit of a get out of jail free card, which I like quite a lot. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with the last minute of footage of me actually using this ability. If you have enjoyed this video, or if you found it useful or entertaining, don't forget to hit that like button, and of course don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss out on more awesome content just like this. I do try and give you any and all knowledge on a game that I'm covering. So if there's anything that you don't know or anything that you want to know about this game or any game that I've been covering all year, just drop that down in the comments and I'll do my absolute best to get back to you. But apart from that, guys, I've been a Monk and we've been a Critically Curious. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And guys, I will see you in the next one real soon.